Good morning, it's Tuesday, December 22nd, and this is Slices of Wenatchee. We're excited to bring you a closer look at one of our top stories and other announcements every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today, now that the first Wenatchee residents have been vaccinated, an historic inoculation campaign has begun. Today's episode is brought to you by Equilus Group Incorporated. Equilus Group Incorporated is a registered investment advisory firm in the states of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Equilus Group Incorporated, building your financial success. Learn more at equilusfinancial.com, member SIPC and FINRA. Before we begin, did you know that more than 36 festive displays have been added to our holiday lights map this year? See the map at wenatcheeworld.com/holidaylights and enjoy a safe drive around the valley. Happy holidays from all of us at the Wenatchee World. Now our feature story. ICU nurse Todd Avis helped care for the first COVID-19 patient in Wenatchee last spring. And on Thursday, he became one of the very first healthcare workers in the area to be vaccinated. Armed with a shipment of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine that had been delivered on Tuesday, Confluence Health vaccinated more than 150 frontline healthcare workers on Thursday. Among them were ICU nurses, physical therapists, and support staff who clean the rooms of coronavirus-positive patients. In addition to its own staff, Confluence Health is offering vaccination appointments to other frontline workers. More than 500 people signed up for the first 3 days of appointments. Over the coming months, that pool of 500 will expand to tens of thousands. Health officials will be pushing to build herd immunity and bring an end to the pandemic as soon as possible. Confluence pharmacists made a welcome discovery on the first day of vaccinations. Each vial had enough vaccine for an extra dose. With 195 vials in this first Pfizer shipment, that raised its supply from 975 doses to around 1,170. Governor Jay Inslee spoke at a press release last week announcing the vaccine's arrival in Washington.
And we know that after months of fighting this relentless virus, we now can begin to use this vaccine and add that to our tools that we have been using of acting responsibly by masking up and socially distancing, which we've been using to effect here in our state. Now, this cannot come soon enough, obviously. Our state is closing in on 200,000 Washingtonians that we know have been infected, or many more that we have not had the tests for. And unfortunately, we are approaching the loss of 3,000 Washingtonians to this dread disease. So we know there's much to do, but having this vaccine is just tremendous news for our state. I am extremely confident that Washingtonians can begin to receive this vaccine in a safe fashion. This is a crucial moment. We have been waiting for months for this blessing, and it marks a turning point in this disease, but we obviously know we have a long way to go.
For nurses like Avis, who's been with Confluence Health since 2014, the vaccine couldn't come soon enough. He said at this stage he thinks healthcare workers are just at the point of, quote, let's get through this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccination. Healthcare workers have been in short supply across the country and here in north central Washington. One of those frontline staff members is Dave Hesse, a physical therapist who spent the past 3 months treating ICU patients. Hesse was officially the first person in Wenatchee to receive the vaccine on Thursday morning. Hesse's days are often spent helping patients battling severe cases of COVID-19 regain their strength. It's medical personnel like Avis and Hesse who interact with COVID-19 patients day in and day out who are being prioritized for vaccination while doses are still in very limited supply. Upon the arrival of the vaccine, Dr. Peter Rutherford, Confluence Health CEO, said that though the PPE is great, the vaccine is one more layer of hopefully longer-term protection. He also said he's incredibly grateful to all the staff who have been here dealing with this for 10 months and all the emotional distress that it has caused. People keep coming and trying and doing their best. In many ways, healthcare workers will be the easiest group to vaccinate. Confluence Health staff have so far been eager to take it. As supplies increase, focus will turn to other at-risk groups, including essential workers and adults with pre-existing conditions. At that point, public education about the safety and efficacy of the vaccine will be key. Rutherford also stressed that until the general public has been vaccinated, we've got to stay diligent about the other efforts to not transmit the disease. Even though he had the vaccine during the trial, he will continue to wear a mask and stay socially distanced. State Health Officer Dr. Kathy Lofi gave a similar message.
The news is coming at a time when COVID-19 activity is higher than it's ever been in our state. Our hospitals are stressed taking care of patients with and without COVID, and our healthcare workers are exhausted. We know it's been challenging to control the spread of COVID-19 this fall, and it will continue to be a challenge over the next couple months. So I'm just thrilled that we now have a new tool in our toolbox. While it will take several months to get everyone vaccinated who will want the vaccine, we can now see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Next, we'd like to take a moment to recognize a decade of masterful gardening. The late Homer McNeil had a vision. It grew from a seedling of an idea into a fully blossoming garden. It's thanks to Homer that we have a beautiful community education garden in Wenatchee. The Master Gardeners have also played an important role. The Master Gardeners are a group of community-minded volunteers. They do more than just tend to the garden. Each year, there are improvements or even additions, along with many educational events. For example, in 2013, they built the Butterfly Garden, among other projects. But this year, things have changed. The pandemic put a stop to the Community Education Garden's outreach functions. Finally, some local history. Wenatchee Valley History is brought to you by Neighbor, your trusted neighborhood community. Neighbor is a free online forum you can trust to connect with your community, focus on facts, and make a difference. Join the conversation. Visit wenatcheeworld.com/NABUR. A 3.5-mile-long precipice in Cooley is known as Dry Falls. Dry Falls is thought to be the largest waterfall that ever existed. Geologists believe that during the last ice age, catastrophic flooding channeled water at 65 miles per hour through the Upper Grand Coulee. Thanks for listening. We'd also like to thank our sponsor again, Equilus Group Incorporated, a registered investment advisory firm in the states of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. The Wenatchee World has been engaging, informing, and inspiring North Central Washington communities since 1905. We encourage you to subscribe today to keep your heart and mind connected to what matters most in North Central Washington. Thank you for starting your morning with us, and don't forget to tune in again on Thursday.